The quiet hum of the orbital station was shattered by the alert sirens echoing through the corridors. Lieutenant Mara Chen stared at the blinking red lights with a sinking feeling in her stomach. Command had never issued Protocol Omega before, and its activation was always whispered about with dread. On the main viewing deck, the viewport revealed an impossible sight, hundreds of unknown ships emerging from the void. They moved in perfect unison, like a single organism spanning kilometers of space. Every attempt to communicate with them met only silence, no signals, no transmissions, nothing. Dr. Camel, the station's chief scientist, muttered under his breath, "We don't know their origin or their intent." Mara could feel the tension gripping the crew as panic rippled through the control room. The unknown fleet was not listed in any star charts, military database, or interstellar registry. Every simulation predicted humanity's defeat in seconds if such a force were hostile. The Council had no contingency for this scenario, beyond the legendary Protocol Omega. It was a measure so extreme that even discussing it made admirals uneasy. Mara received a secure comm from Admiral Voss, his voice tense yet composed. "Initiate Omega, Mara, it's time." She hesitated, her fingers hovering over the control panel, knowing the consequences of this action could reshape everything. As she pressed the sequence, the station's systems pulsed with energy, shields flaring with unprecedented intensity. Outside, the unknown fleet paused, as if observing the station, calculating. Then, in a coordinated motion, they shifted, surrounding the station in a precise formation. The first volley of energy pulses from the fleet's lead vessel illuminated the darkness, but instead of attacking, it created a protective barrier. Mara blinked in disbelief. "They're shielding us." Dr. Camel shook his head. "This defies every law of conflict and logic we know." The fleet's leader, a massive ship with shifting metallic geometry, hovered just beyond sensor range. No weapons fired, no demands made, only presence overwhelming and silent. Mara realized that Protocol Omega wasn't just a defensive measure. It was a signal, a message. The unknown fleet had arrived, and humanity's place in the galaxy was about to be rewritten. Mara watched as the unknown fleet held position, their ships gleaming like shards of black crystal against the void. Sensors detected no life signs, no heat signatures, only energy readings beyond comprehension. Dr. Camel's voice trembled as he said, "They are not attacking, yet their presence is rewriting our understanding of physics." Every tactical model failed. No human technology could match the coordination and scale of these vessels. The crew speculated about their origin, lost colonies, alien civilizations, or something entirely beyond imagination. Meanwhile, Protocol Omega continued to pulse through the station's systems, expanding its influence outward. Strange readings flooded the monitors. Energy resonated through the hull as if the station itself was awakening. Then a voice spoke directly into the comm systems, clear yet impossible. It was not words, but a stream of structured thought, forming concepts directly into their minds. Mara staggered back, feeling her consciousness expand, understanding the message without hearing it. The unknown fleet had come to test, not to destroy. They were observers, seekers of civilizations capable of embracing a new cosmic order. Admiral Voss's voice broke through the awe. "They want to see if we are ready." Dr. Camel analyzed the transmission. "It's as if they are showing us the next stage of evolution." The station's AI, linked to Protocol Omega, began reconfiguring itself, creating defenses that were no longer just physical. Time seemed to stretch as knowledge poured into the crew, revealing secrets of interstellar navigation, energy manipulation, and unified consciousness. Mara realized the fleet's presence was not a threat, but an opportunity. But opportunity came with risk. Humanity had never faced a choice this vast. A single misstep, could provoke hostility from beings who could erase entire planets without effort. Yet ignoring them was impossible. The unknown now dictated the future. Mara gritted her teeth. We need to prove we can handle this. Protocol Omega glowed brighter, feeding the station with energy resonating in harmony with the fleet. The unknown fleet's purpose was becoming clear, and with it, humanity's first step into the wider galaxy. Suddenly, sections of the fleet detached, moving in intricate patterns around the station. Each movement created energy fields that tested the limits of the station's shields and propulsion systems. Mara's team scrambled to match calculations, adjusting Protocol Omega in real time. Every test felt like a conversation, a challenge, and a lesson all at once. Dr. Camel realized the fleet wasn't just evaluating technology, it was evaluating intent. It measured cooperation, resilience, and ingenuity. Crew members shared information instantly, their neural links enhanced by Omega's integration. For the first time, humans could sense one another's thoughts with clarity. A simulated crisis was projected, enemy ships appeared, and the crew had to respond without guidance. Their decisions were swift and precise, energy redirected, shields reoriented, and propulsion synchronized. The unknown fleet observed, shifting formations in response to every choice. Mara felt the weight of the test, knowing a single error could signal failure. Yet as the simulation concluded, the fleet pulsed in acknowledgement, a gesture of approval. Admiral Voss let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. We passed for now. The fleet began emitting patterns of light, forming constellations previously unknown. The crew interpreted them as maps, gateways to other star systems. It was more than survival. It was initiation, the opening of doors to the galaxy's hidden network. Dr. Camel whispered, "They are showing us the way forward, not just testing us." Mara nodded, feeling both awe and responsibility. Protocol Omega had transformed from a defense system into a bridge, connecting humanity with the unknown. The fleet's silence became a promise, not a threat. And for the first time, humans understood that the universe was not hostile, but waiting. Mara stood at the viewport as the unknown fleet began to depart. Their ships moved gracefully, leaving behind trails of luminous energy. Yet one vessel lingered, larger than before, hovering in quiet judgment. The fleet had delivered knowledge, but the final decision rested with humanity. To embrace the path ahead meant stepping into dangers unimagined. To refuse meant remaining isolated, confined to a fragile solar system. Admiral Voss addressed the crew, "We've been given the choice of a lifetime." The station hummed with Protocol Omega's residual energy, pulsing like a heartbeat. Dr. Camel mapped the fleet's trajectories, finding coordinates that hinted at worlds beyond known space. Mara realized that the unknown fleet's test was more than survival, it was awakening. A decision had to be made quickly, other civilizations might not wait. The crew debated, weighing risk against potential, fear against curiosity. Finally, Mara's voice rose above the uncertainty. "We go forward, we take the knowledge and explore, we step into the galaxy." The station responded, energy cascading through its systems, aligning with the fleet's residual signals. And then the unknown fleet vanished, leaving only luminous trails and a galaxy forever altered. Humanity was no longer alone or untested. The universe had opened its doors, and the first step had been taken. Emergency Protocol Omega had done more than protect, it had transformed. And in that moment, Mara understood the weight and wonder of what lay ahead.